As we all know, there's a great need for diaspora contribution. The diaspora in some countries is substantial, as in the Gulf countries, where we have a proxy of over 10,000 doctors. The UK and Ireland, and most of you live here and are quite aware of the huge numbers and the numbers that are increasing day by day, and the USA of over 500. These are just proxies of some of the countries where our diaspora is scattered and special focus on medical and health professions. Speaking about diaspora and speaking about migration, making the use and benefit and making use of the brain drain to brain gain. So how can we gain from all these intellects, our professionals, you expatriates back in our home country, Sudan, and the technology transfer, transferring technology and the expertise, the skills, the knowledge that you all hold back to Sudan. Willingness of the diaspora to contribute to the source country, and that's the heart and soul of the project itself. It's without expatriates as yourselves and others and their willingness to contribute and to give back to our country, Sudan, in their respective field, that it's possible. And the potential for facilitating useful links through the individuals themselves, through the institutes they represent, and through their links within the countries that they work in. As we all know, there are great challenges for specialty training in Sudan. And the number one is migration itself. So the migrating health professions, medical doctors, consultants, registrars, and so forth, they do not only provide health services within the hospitals, but we also know that they're the ones themselves that lecture the students that produce the coming generation. So there's numerical shortage of trainers there, and certain gaps in specialities and subspecialities that were rare to start with, and the numbers were few, but now diminished or demolished at all. The need to boost quality and different perspectives, and the need for that sort of exchange of experience and expertise and knowledge that every person brings back home, and the need to scale up the CPD system and practice along with its institutional capacity needs of the Sudan Medical Specialization Board itself in respect to its 33 councils. So the Diaspora program was first initiated and formally launched, and it was presented in the last conference, the Diaspora conference last year held in Brighton. The Diaspora engagement model, and I'll go through the model in a bit, carries principles. And the first principle is that it's inclusive and it's professionally oriented. The project itself is actually a fruit of research that was conducted throughout 4 years in Sudan at the National Human Resources for Health Observatory and at the Federal Ministry of Health, all targeting migration, diaspora, and the implications. And this was one of the recommendations and findings of the projects held itself. So it came from the people, it came from the expatriates, it came from the diaspora itself. So it's welcome for all professionals. It's flexible and adaptive. There's no blueprint. There's no, your organization has to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's volunteer-based. So according to the capacity and according to the volunteerism of the organization, the institute, the individual, him or herself respectively, then it's adapted. And it's open to associations, as I mentioned, as individuals. And as we go on, and right here in this session, we have examples as SMA UK and Ireland, Dr. Babikir, we have Professor Alam, who also came, and we have several others within the room and abroad that actually participated as individuals and as associations. And it's sensitive to capacity transfer and institutionalization. What we're bringing here is not ad hoc programs or projects, but it's actually embedded in the institute, the sole mandated institute to deliver and to produce medical and health professions in the country. So the model itself has 3 facets. Supporting speciality training, the Sudan Medical Specialization Board has over 33 specialized councils, and through the institutes and individuals themselves, they can support the training. Supporting cross-cutting training in issues as research methods, communication skills, leadership and management, supporting institutional capacity, as I mentioned, in not only training the trainers themselves, but building the capacity of the organization in forms of medical education, and so forth. Technology transfer, one of our great achievements, and the important milestones in order to do so is building partnerships as with SMA UK, an Ireland, building partnerships with the SGUI, Sudan Doctors Union Ireland, building partnerships with America, the Sudan Medical Association there, and so forth. The conferences, the workshops, the direct training activities, the consultation, mobilization of resources. So as I mentioned, we built several partnerships up to now with these respective institutes. And these are just photos to actually reflect what was happening up to now. With the SGUI that just started last February, up to now 2 visits. One ended last week, a symposium of 3 days, including different specialities. The signing also with the Sudan Medical Association, UK and Ireland.
Who baked that cake?
I got it. I didn't bake it. With the Sudan American Medical Association. The training events, as I mentioned, are focused and interdisciplinary. Within the past year, since the launching of the project, we had up to 15 workshops in medical education. We had over 200 lectures in discipline-specific workshops, and we had over 20 research and genetic skill support workshops and lectures. Through our expatriates, through the Diaspora engagement model and program, and this reflects some of the activities, the OSCE, the radiology workshop, Dr. Zuhair from the SDUI, Professor Hassan Bella. Conferences and meetings were also held. International, regional, and national forums in critical care conference, international psychiatry conference, which actually represented true success story, obstetrics and gynecology conference, and of course the SMA ethics and professionalism conference. And these are some of the photos that actually reflect the workshops that were conducted, the conferences, the number of attendees, the registrars, the residents, the trainers, and the trainees. Institutional capacity and consultation, as I mentioned, are many, and they cross-cut. For example, the success of the diploma in medical education, where actually expatriates did not only contribute in the development of the curricula in teaching and mentoring, but one of the diaspora members actually came to SMSB now and is leading the medical education program. So it's not only partnership, but it's actually attracting them even back to our home country, Sudan. Delivering talks and seminars was also part of it. And as you can see, this is your conference, yeah, Dr. Yes. Professor Alam also kindly came over, knowledge transfer and management. So it's just a true example of how we transfer technology through the expatriates. It's alignment of resources and alignment of efforts where we provide an environment where you can actually find the residents, the registrars of the future, the people working in the hospitals. An educational development center was set at the Sudan Medical Specialization Board, structured and encountered to encompass all that, including an actual building that has multimedia and multi-purpose meetings, yes. So new partnerships and new opportunities as the European Resuscitation Training course and the trauma training and so forth. So these are some of the photos that reflect the activities. Of course, there's bottlenecks and challenges. Coordination, it's key, both in Sudan with the different institutes, public and private, and with our diaspora. Throughout the days, we've been mentioning the need to link, the need to have a platform where we actually know who is where and what expertise he or she has, the resources, institutional capacity, and lack of diaspora association, as Abdurrahman mentioned rightly, in some of the countries where we actually have huge numbers. And okay, my time's nearly over.
Conclusion, please.
Yes. So The last slide, yes.
Yeah.
So the Diaspora Engagement Model Program, as I mentioned, is institutionalized and embodied within the Sudan Medical Specialization Board. It's there and we're open for everyone to come and actually join. Improvement of organizational capacity to the SMSB itself and increasing the diaspora interest and involvement is one of our prospects, and that's why we're here today. And emerging collaborations with national and international bodies as the Secretariat for Sudanese Working Abroad, who have the Spectrum program already running. There's huge IT potential. It's not only, and we appreciate the idea of people coming to Sudan, but we also have the capacity within the Sudan Medical Specialization Board and the facilities and software to provide an e-platform and servers to actually conduct online communication. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ayat.